Also, here is the designing organizational structures. First, we come to the work specialization. It's about dividing the work into separated job tasks. The employees in the work specializations perform the tasks individually in order to increase the output. It's like you let them handle it singly, one by one. Work specialization bring advantage. It is, but also it can result in burden, stress, and low productivity. In the work specialization, people have to divide it into task 1, task 2, or task 6. About the departmentalizations, it is simply as hierarchical system. Is like the higher level, the upper level, and the lowest level is like a triangle. It is the department that is specialized in that area, such as the human resources department, the marketing department, just like that. Here's the picture showing the departmentalizations. About the chain of command it's like a level of authority is power straight from the top executives downward to the lowest such as normal employees. The lower employees have the duty to report to the upper managers the managers that supervise them. The managers at the lower levels have to report to higher one following the power distance gap. Yeah, this is an example of the departmentalization and the chain of command. To continue, the authority is the rise in a managerial position to tell people what to do. The line authority or the power distance that is demonstrated as line form, just like you see on the screen is line form, and the style authorities are the position with lower authority just created just for supporting the line authority. Talking about the span of control, it's like the numbers of employees that managers have to supervise. It's just, you can understand it simply just like that. Here's the examples of the span of controls, like the CEO have to control one employees or the vice CEO that is below him, and in the span of control, the employees don't have anyone to control. About centralization and decentralization, it's about the environment who in that environment gonna make the decisions. Each company have different centralization and decentralization. Centralization is a degree in which decision is mostly made by the higher level managers, such as the chef managers or something like that. The decentralization is a degree in which lower level like employees have the authority to make the decisions. It's like an autonomy. Employee empowerment is just simply giving the employee more authority to make the decision. The formalization. It is a process in which managers specify the procedures, the rules, and responsibilities for the organizations. The formalizations can lead to the development of success, relationship, and operating procedures. This exhibit show the cons and the pros of the formalizations. How advantageous it would have if the organization perform high formalizations.
Hello. So now let's move on to mechanistic and organic structures. First, the mechanistic organization is an organizational design that is rigid and tightly controlled. The organic organization is an organizational design that is highly adaptive and flexible. Let's make a small comparison between those two kinds of strategy. The mechanistic has high specialization, rigid departmentalization, clear chain of command, narrow spans of control, centralization, and high formalization. And the organic has cross-functional teams, cross-hierarchical teams, free-flow information, wide spans of control, decentralization, and low formalization. Now, let's move on to the contingency factors that affect the structural choice. First, the strategy and structure. Changes in corporate strategy should lead to changes in an organization structure that support the strategy. Certain structural design is suitable with different organizations' strategies. First, the mechanistic structure happens when a company wants to tightly control costs. The organic structure happens when an organization pursues meaningful and unique innovations. Next is size and structure. As an organization grows larger, its structure tends to change from organic to mechanistic with increased specialization, departmentalization, centralization, and rules or regulations. And technology and structure. Organizations adapt their structures to their technology. Google class visualization firms based on the complexity of the technology employed. The first is unit production of single units or small batches. The second is mass production of large batches of output. The third is process production in continuous process of outputs. You will see on the slides the Woodward's findings on technology and structure. So you can by yourself make a comparison among those three productions. Their structural characteristics, vertical differentiation and horizontal differentiation, and also formalization, and the most effective structure for each production. The next is environmental uncertainty and structure. Mechanistic organizational structures tend to be the most effective in stable and simple environments. The flexibility of organic organizational structures is better suited for dynamic and complex environments. And the last is traditional organizational designs. Simple structure is an organizational design with low departmentalization, wide spans of control, centralized authority, and little formalization. Next, the functional structure is an organizational design that groups together similar or related occupational specialties. And divisional structure is an organizational structure made up of separate and semi-autonomous units or divisions. So, you can see on the slides the strengths and weaknesses of each kind of structure. The simple, the functional, and divisions.
So hello everybody, now we've moved to case number 1, chapter 10. Abstracts. So the case number 1 is about the Charles Schwab Corporation deal with the action they have to take to deal with customer service. So Charles Schwab Corporation is a based financial service company, and it was founded in 1971 by Charles Schwab. So let's move to the question number 1. Describe and evaluate what Charles Schwab is doing. So Charles Schwab provides a range of financial services such as financial research, advice, and planning, but he also offers financial products such as mutual fund, banking, and mortgage products. Charles Schwab also remained a traditional brokerage firm active in its core business of conducting stock trading for investors who make their own financial decisions. So this focus on its bread and butter, how it survived the meltdown in 2008. Last but not least, the firm successfully used technology to manage and control its business and employee management information system, generate, or you can call it MIS, generate report for top manager to stack through and act on. So one such report is a customer feedback form. The feedback score the employee in terms of a satisfactory and unsatisfactory service. Furthermore, the top manager reviewed the feedback chart and employee performance in the previous day every morning. So the last question is, what structure implication, good or bad, might Schwab intent focus on customer feedback have? So the focus on the customer strategies have a certain impact on the structural design. So there should be, to work effectively, there should be specialization with rigid departmentalization so that customers know whom to talk or complain with. Furthermore, the responsibility of customer disaffection can be pointed out and so easily. But in contrast, this might lead to the pressure for lower manager when they deal with a lot of customer demand and their productivity are threatened to be reduced. Moreover, his organization is a fixed structure which is easily hurt by the rapid change of the market. So therefore, there is no certain that whether Charles Schwab is able to come up with a good strategy for the survival in competitive or not. So that is the end of the case number 1. Thank you for listening.
Let's move to the case application 2, a new kind of structure. Pfizer is an American multinational pharmaceutical company. This company creates products to prevent, treat disease, and improve the health of people around the globe. And this case talk about Magic Button, a new functional strategy of Pfizer to help its employees increase their work productivity. The first question, describe and evaluate what Pfizer is doing with its FilerWorks.
FilerWorks is a magic button that allows employees to change their shift and time-consuming tasks with a single click to apps on their desktop. Employees just need to fill an online form, then send to one of 2 Indian service outsourcing firms. Later, the team member in India will call back Pfizer employees to clarify the things on what they need. By using this process, the time spent on analysis of data has been reduced, and many financial benefits have increased, and employees also get rid of their boring work.
Question number 2. What structural implications, good and bad, does this approach have?
About work specialization, as the Pfizer employees have more time to spend on the important knowledge work, they will focus more and bring out the best effectiveness and efficiency of their own tasks. About the departmentalization, Pfizer has made a functional departmentalization by sourcing the tedious and time-consuming tasks to the team in India. And about the change of command, there is no change in this span of control. This element was reduced as the tasks were divided for Pfizer employees and the Indian employees. Centralization and decentralization. Pfizer was more decentralized as shifting the consuming tasks for foreign employees. And about formalization, nothing really changed as the Pfizer corporations were relatively formalized.
Question number 3. Do you think this arrangement would work for other types of organizations? Why or why not? What type of organizations might also work?
Yes, because it would help on increasing efficiency and effectiveness of the organizations. It will work well in organizations whose core activities do not involve any P&C items like marketing themes, VR, but it does not work well for banks or other financial institutions, as the probability of leakage information is higher.
Question number 4. What role do you think organizational structure plays in an organization's efficiency and effectiveness? Explain.
Organizational structure plays a key role in empowering a company to function smoothly, to remain responsive to its internal and external stakeholders, and to adapt to changes in the marketplace. Innovation is assisted by fewer layers of management, and the survival and success of a company usually depends on its ability to function as a learning organization that promotes innovation. So the rest of the video will be about chapter 11. This is I love chapter 11, designing organizational structure adaptive, and I will present the first and second part. A team structure is one in which the entire organization is made up of work teams that do the organization's work. In this structure, employees' empowerment is crucial because no line of managerial authority flows from top to the bottom. Instead, employee teams design and do work in the way they think is best. They are also responsible for our work performance results in their respective areas. The matrix structure assigns specialists from different functional departments to work on projects being led by a project manager. This design creates a dual chain of command because employees in a matrix organizations have two managers who share authority: functional area manager and product or project manager. The project manager has authority over the functional members who are part of his or her project team in areas related to the project's goals. The matrix design violates the unity of command principle, which says that each person should report to only one boss. However, it can and does work effectively if work managers communicate regularly, coordinate work demands on employees, and resolve conflicts together. This exhibit shows examples of a matrix organization. Many organizations use a project structure in which employees continuously work on projects. Unlike the matrix structure, a project structure has no formal departments where employees return at the completion of a project. Instead, employees take their specific skills, abilities, and experiences to other projects. All work in project structure is performed by teams of employees. The battery-less organization is an organization whose design is not defined by or limited to the horizontal, vertical, or external batteries imposed by a predefined structure. There are two types of batteries, internal and external. To eliminate or minimize them, managers might use virtual or network structural design. Virtual organizations is an organization that consists of a small core of full-time employees and outside specialists temporarily hired as needed to work on projects. A network organization is an organization that uses its own employees to do some work activities and network outside suppliers to provide other needed product components or work process. A learning organization is an organization that has developed the capacity to continuously learn, adapt, and change. In a learning organization, employees continually acquire and share new knowledge and apply that knowledge in making decisions or doing their work. This exhibit shows the summaries of contemporary organizational design. Let's continue with organizing for collaboration. When managers believe collaboration among employees is needed for more coordinated and integrated work efforts, they can use several different structural options. Some of the most popular include cross-functional teams, task force, and communities of practice. A cross-functional team is a work team composed of individuals from various functional specialties. When a cross-functional team is formed, team members are brought together to collaborate on resolving mutual problems that affect the respective functional areas. A task force is a temporary committee or team formed to tackle a specific short-term problem affecting several departments. The temporary nature of a task force is what differentiates it from a cross-functional team. Task force members usually perform many of their normal work tasks while serving on the task force. However, the members of task force must collaborate to resolve the issue that's been assigned to them. When the issue or problem is solved, the task force is no longer needed and members return to their regular assignments. And finally, communities of practice. Groups of people who share a concern, a set of problems, or a passion about a topic, and who deepen their knowledge and expertise in that area by interacting on an ongoing basis. Today, many companies are trying open innovation, opening up the search for new ideas beyond the organization's boundaries and allowing innovations to easily transfer inward and outward. In today's environment, organizations are looking for advantages whenever they can get them. One way they can do this is with strategic partnerships, collaborative relationships between two or more organizations in which they combine their resources and capabilities for some business purpose.
So hello everybody, now we move to the next sections. Flexible work arrangement. So in this section we're gonna take a look at different type of flexible work arrangement, including telecommuting and compressed work week, flex time, and job sharing. So let's take a look at telecommuting and compressed work. So telecommuting is a work arrangement in which employees work at home and are linked to the workplace by computer. Needless to say that not every job is a candidate for telecommuting. And compressed work week is a work week where employees work longer hours per day but fewer days per week. So let's move to flex time. So flex time can be known as flexible work hour. It means that a scheduling system in which employees are required to work a specific number of hours a week but are free to vary those hours within certain limit. So you can understand it like this. A flexible worker schedule typically designed certain common course hour when employees are required to be on the job but allowing starting, ending, or maybe lunch hour to be flexible. So the final is job sharing. It's can easily know at the practice of having two or more people split a full-time job. Now we move to contingent workforce. Contingent workforce is contingent worker, temporary, freelance, or contract worker whose employment is contingent upon demand for their services. Last is today organizational design challenge. The first is keeping employee connected. Mobile computing and communication technologies has given organization employee way to stay connected and to be more productive. So for instance, handheld device have email or Kindler can be used anywhere, and they are wireless network. So you can use it to deliver or meeting online. The second is managing global structural issues. When designing or changing structural, manager may need to think about the cultural implication or certain design element. Formalization may be more important in less economically developed country and less important in more economically developed country where our employee may have higher level professional in education and skill. But no matter what structural design manager chose for their organization, however, it should help the employee to do their work best. So that is the end of chapter 11. So thank you for listening.
Hello. So now I want to present to you the case application 1 of chapter 11. The case you work where. The first question of this case application is evaluate Yahoo's new work initiative and did it have to be or nothing proposition. So I know that what I will say to you is quite hard to understand. So I want to make a small conclusion first, which make it easier for you to understand. So the main problem of Yahoo is not whether the employees work from home or at workplace. So to understand that, let's take a closer look at the real situation of the company. As you can see on the slide, I have quotes a small part of sentence in the text, and I have something called critic. Yeah. So some of the employees who work physically presented as little work as needed and then took off early. So my question for them, my critic is the employees working is not efficient. If they do not have enough work to do, why did not the management board make some of them abandon for the sake of the budget? Or maybe their competing ability is worsening. As a result, their activity scale is lessening. The next problem I want to raise is other employees who work from home do little but collect a paycheck. What is going on? Why an employee did little but still collect the salary? What is going on? So we can see that Yahoo's perform a very poor controlling ability. To detail, there must have been something wrong with its measurement system. Why did the employees receive the amount of salary which was not corresponding to their load of work? So hard to understand. And next, even at the office, one former manager described morale as low as it could be because employees thought the company was failing, that they were on a sinking ship. So it's so easy to see that due to the weak capability of management, the business situation of the corporation is deteriorating. As a consequence, the morale of the employees is declining. How can the employees concentrate on their own work? Meanwhile, the management is so unfair and inefficient. However, on the other hand, the initiative did have the positive impact on Yahoo's performance. As I have presented in the previous slide, the Yahoo's employees were in a very low spirit. So they were in a desperate need for motivation. Therefore, the initiative introduced by Mayer can give them the feeling that their company was carrying out a revolution. and was kept under strict discipline, which could inspire them to work hard. So, to sum up, Yahoo's new work initiative did not have to be an all or nothing proposition because, as I have shown, its main problem is the poor management. However, the initiative can act as a source of inspiration to the employees. The next question: what can managers and organizations do to have employees who work from home be efficient and productive? The core factor of any organization, like an army or a sports team, is winning the people's heart. No organization can attain success if its members feel that they are unfairly treated, and so do the employees of a corporation. To be able to work efficiently and productively from home, each employee must be deservedly rewarded for their endeavor and dedication. For prosperous organization, there is no room for situation that employees who work from home do little but collect a paycheck, as written in the text. And in conclusion, to be able to fairly evaluate and reward the employees, the management board have to set up a performance measuring system which can correctly measure the employees' performance and compare it with the standards. Next, take the three main causes: productivity, innovation, and collaboration. From the perspective of management, how do you think flexible arrangements stack up? And how about from the employee's perspective? You know that the target of any corporation is the profit. And to raise the profit, the only measure is to increase the productivity. For example, in the past, a company takes 20 resources to make a product. But nowadays, thanks to the technical advance, it only takes 10 resources to make a product. And as a result, the company has saved a large quantity of resources and costs, which leads to the rise in productivity. In terms of flexible arrangement, to my thinking, it also can be called innovation. To be detailed, telecommuting is a work arrangement in which the employees work at home and are linked to the workplace by computer. The most obvious benefit of this innovation to the management is that the manager can save a large sum of costs for facilities, lease, and so on. And from the employee's perspective, flexible arrangements bring about so many advantages. First, telecommuting and compressed work week exempt the employees from the time and cost of moving. And secondly, flexible work hours give the employees comfort and convenience in their daily life. They can have a better balance between work and other activities. The next question is face time, which means that showing up at work to be seen by your boss and others, critical to one's career. Like the two faces of a coin, everything has its own two sides. On the one hand, face time is no longer of great importance as it used to be in the past. With the advance of science and technology, employees nowadays can easily make communication with their colleagues and bosses from distance away. All works can be transmitted and received with technological devices like PCs, smartphones, and etc. But on the other hand, showing up the workplace can make a contribution to your opportunities of promotion and broadening social relationships. First, your appearance at work can give your bosses the impression that you are a hardworking and responsible employee. As a result, they can give you priority over your promotion. Second, going to work gives you a chance to communicate and discuss with your colleagues, and they are those who might give you support in the future. And the last question is being able to work remotely important to you? Why not? Uh, to this question, I think that it is quite the same as the previous question. The advantages of FaceTime is the disadvantages of working remotely and vice versa. However, I want to give you an additional advantage of being able to work remotely. If you have the ability to work from home, it will be very effective when you have to deal with an emergency. In such situations, if you cannot go to workplace, you still can work with your laptop or smartphone.
So about the case application 2 of chapter 11, talking about the organizational volunteers. The case here is mainly talk about the volunteers, how the volunteers would affect the business. Usually, volunteers only work for non-profit business, but in this situation, volunteers work for the profit business that have the name is Verizon and its owners are Mark Studness. So we're gonna find out about the case. We're gonna answer the case question. What do you think about using volunteers to do work that others people get paid to do? Well, in my opinion, that volunteers do not get paid from the work that they are doing, so some of them just simply feel happy when they help people, and yes, and the feelings, the happiness are the actual pay in return. However, there are some volunteers that do the job just because they want to have experience in some careers, just because they want their CV look nice. And about if I were in Mark's Studness position, I'd be most concerned about this arrangement and how would I manage that concern. Well, from my perspective, if I were in Mark's Studness position, I would care about how inexperienced the volunteers would be and how I manage the volunteer work. But this problem can be solved easily by providing a training program like any company would do, a trainees like that, and afterward, when they finish their job, motivate them and reward them so that the task can be handled at ease. How do these volunteers fit into an organizational structures? Blah 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 blah. Well, because the volunteers, so the job is limited into some areas. It can be said to have the lowest authority in the organizationals, just like the lowest level employees. But so they do not have the span of control. They do not supervise anybody. So they are free to demonstrate their opinion when there are a meeting or something. They can contribute their ideas to that meeting, but the decisions belong to the managers that supervise them. Okay, so this is the last question. Do you think this approach could work for any other types of work being done in other types of organizations? Well, I think that the approach could not work for other types of work because in other fields, volunteers do not have much experience to handle many complex situations. And this could prevent the organizations from seeking revenues. And this could lowering down the productivity of the company. Thank you.